Hello and welcome to StatLab StatCrunch videos. Today we're going to be talking about how to find the z-score given the cumulative area under the curve. Alright, so in previous problems they gave us the z-score and asked us to find the area. Now we're going to go backward. They gave us the cumulative area and they're asking us to find the respective z-score. So the first problem here is we're trying to find the area, the z-score of the area 0.7088. So I'm going to show you two methods here. First, I'm going to go ahead and use the table, and then I'm going to go ahead and show you using StatCrunch. So let me go ahead and open up the table here. So I don't think I can maximize this table here, but let me try something really quick. Okay, so that did not work. Okay, so when I look at my table here, I'm looking for 0.7088. So let me change it to a box here. 0.7088 is right here. And the respective number for that is 0.5 on x-axis and 0.5 on y-axis. So my area for my z-score is 0.55 for the area of 0.7088. All right, so that's using your chart, and that's what your area is right here. But now how do I find this? Using my StatCrunch. I'm going to click on StatCrunch and I'm going to go to Stats, Calculators, Normal Calculator. And remember, my mean is 0 and standard deviation is 1. So they gave me the area and they're asking me to find the respective z-score. So the area goes here and you're going to find your z-score value from here. Okay, so let me go ahead and plug that in. My area was 0.7088, and I'm going to click compute. And if you see that your area is 0.549, rounding off to 2 decimal places, this would be 0.55. Okay, so your mean is always going to be a 0, your standard deviation is going to be a 1. Remember, this box is for the areas, probabilities, and percentiles. And this box, the value of this box is always from 0 to 1. So you plug in your area here and your z-score value pops up right here. All right, now moving on to the next problem here. I'm just going to close this and I'm going to move on to the next problem. I think we did this one. Let's see now, percentile. Same thing. I'm going to go ahead and open up my StatCrunch. Stats, Calculators, Normal Curve. And here in this problem, what they gave me was they're asking me to find the z-score for the given percentile, which is 25%. So remember, most of the students don't know that you have to change your percentage to a decimal. So it's 25%, that means that is 0.25. Make sure you do your homework on that. I'm not teaching how to change percentages to decimals. So once I have that, I'm going to go ahead and plug that in here. So remember, this is where my area and percentage goes, 0.25. And I'm going to click compute. And what I get here is 0.674489, and that matches exactly with the area, the z-score of the curve for the area 0.25. Okay, so all right, now this is 95 percentile, this is 33 percentile. It's pretty much the same way that we did. All right, so now I'm trying to go ahead and work on problem 9 from the homework. In a survey of women in a certain country, the mean height was 62.8 inches with standard deviation of 2.69. Answer the following questions about the specified normal distribution. What height represents the 90th percentile? What height represents the first quartile? I'm going to go ahead and open up my StatCrunch here. Okay, this is a standard normal curve because my mean is 0 and my standard deviation is 1. And the one I have right now don't have a mean of 0 and standard deviation of 1. So I need to go back and change that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at the mean. The mean here is 62 and standard deviation is 2.69. So my first step is to go ahead and change that. The mean is 62.8 and the standard deviation is 2.69. And they're asking me to find the height that represents the 90th percentile. 90th percentile is 90%, so 0.9, and I compute. And when you see that, 66.24 represents the 90th percentile. And that's exactly what my answer is. And now for the 25th percentile, the first quarter, which is 25, so 0.25, and it is 60.98, rounding it off, which gives me 61%. Alright, the average time spent for a group of medical residents at a hospital can be approximated by normal distribution, and the graph given below shows you the mean and standard deviation. Now the question is, what is the shortest time spent sleeping that would still place a resident in the top 5% of sleeping times? In the top 5%. So they're asking you for the top 5% here. All right. So let me go ahead and open up my StatCrunch here. I don't know why it keeps closing constantly. Calculators and normal curve. This is a standard normal curve, like you know the procedure by now. You have to go back and change your mean. My mean here is 6.3. And my standard deviation is 1. They asked me for the top 5%. So anything greater than 5 works. So greater than 5% is 0.5. Compute. So when I look at it, so this is the top 5% that I have. Let me highlight this one. This is my top 5% I have, correct? This is top 5. So the least amount that a student should get here to be in the top 5% is 7.94. So this, the first here represents 7.94. So anything greater than 7.944 gives me the top 5%. And that's exactly matches with my answer. Now they're asking you between what two values does the middle 50%? So when they say between, I'm going to click on between, the same standard deviation, 50%, 0.5, and compute. And when I look at it, if my x value is 5.6255 and 6.97, then the area would be 50%, and that's exactly what it is right here. Okay, so I'm trying to calculate what values of x I should have so I can get the area between those two x values as 50%. And keep in mind that the normal curve is distributed in half. So 50% means this is going to be 0.25% on this side and 0.25% on this side. All right, hope that helps.